It's your boy, Mr. Steal Your Dibs, Jared JB Boyd, and we got my brother from another mother, the tantalizing Tony Levin. Man, what's going on? How was your Christmas?
I can't complain, sir. Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, whatever else everybody celebrates. Hope you had a great holiday, and I'm ready to get into it, bro.
Look here. Today is the over the top rope year in review. We talking about everything from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. We got a great show, a lot of topics. Plus, we have the administrators of NVS, Mark versus Marks. We got Trohan Miles and the Crescent City Saint, Mike Bradley joining us at around 7:30 Eastern Time, 6:30 Central. So please stay tuned to that. But before we start the show, I want to say congratulations to MVP winning. Let me make sure I say it right. Winning the Brazilian Jiu Jitsu World Championship. The Hurt Business got four champions. Congrats to MVP, World Champion in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. He trains in it, he has a passion for it, and he won. I got to give it to him. Me being a martial artist myself, I had to start off with that, my man. I had to.
Hey, man, nothing wrong with that. I had the pleasure of meeting MVP thanks to you a
Yeah,
couple of years ago, and I know you guys are close and you guys are friends and everything. And it was an honor to meet him. Gave us some free merch.
yeah.
He was at WrestleCon, and of course he's selling his merch. His merch was selling really good, but he gave us some free stuff because he knew you. So I always thank you for that. And congratulations to him. Yes, and as you said, the Hurt Business, all champions. The MVP experiment is definitely working.
That's right. And if I didn't know, our special guest from later on, Mike Bradley, who is real good friends with MVP, I would have never got that shirt. So yeah, Mike Bradley got connections.
Mike Bradley's always from day one, from the day I met Mike Bradley, he's always been very receptive and always friendly. Met me at the Walmart parking lot in New Orleans.
Yeah,
Didn't know me from nobody, but he said, "Yo, meet me. Let's meet up." So yeah, always a pleasure meeting anybody from New Orleans. You know that.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. Tony was going around meeting everybody that's from New Orleans. He met up with Mike Bradley, came to my karate school. It is what it is because NVS, we all family.
I got it in that day. That must listen. I've been to I've been to a few WrestleManias. So
Yeah.
all I can say is this: is that honestly, honest to God, WrestleMania. I have two favorite WrestleManias in aspects of having a good time, not match wise. WrestleMania 28 in Miami was maybe one of the greatest I went to because me and my kid's mom and went together. We had like the best weekend and everything, and hung out in Miami. But I got to tell you, the one that me when we met everybody at 34. Oh
Yeah.
my God! And I had been to 30. I didn't know anybody then. But
Right.
at
Right.
34, I had the best time ever. So that's my personal, one of my best WrestleManias as a
Oh,
fan. And
34, man.
I gotta thank all y'all for that. Everybody from MVS, especially you,
Definitely.
Mike Bradley, even Walter Sylvie. It's about the holidays, so I'm being nice today. I'm not gonna put nobody down. Walter Sylvie brought me in MVS, so I never met you guys. It was for that little jabroni. So that right there.
Definitely, man. Just 34, all of us hanging out together, the pictures we took. I'm not gonna say everybody's name because I'm gonna forget somebody and somebody gonna be mad that I forgot.
It was a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a
It,
lot
it
of
was a lot
people,
of people.
man. So 34 was definitely one of the best times. So
Definitely.
definitely. Let's
And
go.
one more thing,
Go
man.
ahead. Go
One
ahead.
more thing. If you hear any background noise, you know how black people do around Christmas.
I
It's
know, right?
still noisy. We still we eating leftovers. Second day is the best day for the food because everything are marinated. So my kids are running around. It's families. I don't really talk about it on the thing that much because I keep my personal life personal. But let me bring her on real quick. Come here, Trina. Don't tell me no. Come here. Come here. Come here. Trina, I'm
Come
on
on,
live.
Trina.
Come here.
Come on, Trina.
They call you.
Don't do them like
Come
that,
here.
Trina. Don't do them like that, Trina.
Come,
Come on, Trina. Don't
they,
do them
they,
like that.
come on. Come on.
Come on,
Come on.
Trina.
Come on.
You might,
She's
you
saying
might like,
no.
you might like my face, Trina. Come on, come on,
They're asking for you.
come
Come
on,
on.
Trina.
Come
Come
on.
on.
Come on. She's coming. So look, everybody. I don't mention it that much, but Say hi. Just wave to everybody.
Hey, how you doing? What's up, Mikey? I see you, Mikey. We know Mikey.
Everybody knows you, Mikey.
Hey, come back, Trina. Right. Come back.
She's out, bro. She's one of those,
It's all good.
She don't like the spotlight, but there you go. So we got the family stuff out the way.
Yeah. Look, I know what you're saying with the leftovers. Hey, Mikey. Look, I got food from my mama. I got food from my girlfriend's parents. I got food from my cousin, all in the fridge. I got food for days. I'm good.
Bro, I'm telling you, I at my trainer, one more thing. Listen, this show's gonna go a while, so we can ramble a little bit. So I lost 3.5 inches on my waist.
Hell yeah.
My thighs were 33. They went down to a 29.5.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I lost inches everywhere, and in 2 weeks I lost 15 pounds. So I'm down, bro. I'm doing good. So she told me I did so good. So I broke my diet for a couple of days because I had to have the stuffing, had to have some pies, but
yeah,
I'm doing good. But let's get into it, bro. I'm so sorry. You know me, I ramble.
Let's do it. Let's get into it right now. So let's start off with our first topic. It's the year in review. We're going to start off with the 2020 Royal Rumble. And this was one of the best Royal Rumbles in a long, long time. And the Royal Rumble itself was great. Brock Lesnar winning there, not wanting to face anybody at WrestleMania. And he went number 1 and eliminated 13 people straight until your current WWE champion, who beat him for the championship at WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre, entered the ring and eliminated him. And then
with an assist from Ricochet.
That's right. Ricochet with the low blow. And McIntyre eliminated Brock Lesnar. That was the first biggest pop. And then Edge returning to the Royal Rumble. Bruh.
9 years.
9 years in the making. Edge return. I marked out the Royal Rumble. To me, man, started off to me what has been a great year in wrestling. I told you this, I think, on the phone or through a text. This was the greatest Royal Rumble in years. From the matches they had to the Rumble itself. It was something to talk about for a long time. But I was happy that Drew won. I was happy that Edge returned. We saw an RKO reunion at the Royal Rumble. We saw Seth go to Roman and say, "Come on, Roman, help me out." And Roman said, "Hell no." It was phenomenal. You go ahead, my brother.
We saw the return of Beth Phoenix as well.
Yeah.
It looked like she was going to pull an upset. 2020 started off so well. So it's crazy how it foreshadowed, what is going on now, because this is crazy. We would never know watching the Royal Rumble to be in December 2020 to be where we're at right now. But I'm telling you, that Edge pop, that was something. And I'm so mad because I was 50-50 going to go to the Rumble. I could have went and I passed on it because my mind was, you know what? Save your money for WrestleMania. And we know what happened there. But that pop was awesome. Brock Lesnar eliminating everybody was just craziness.
Yeah.
Him with Shelton Benjamin. What a quick, because they're great friends in real life. And
right.
he turned his back on Shelton, chucked him. It was great. And of course, Drew McIntyre with the Claymore knocking him out the ring, and then at the end throwing out Roman Reigns to win the 2020 Royal Rumble. And of course, they booked it so perfectly because he threw out the 2 strongest guys.
I was just about to say that, but you already said it. Go ahead, keep going.
The faces of the company,
yes.
Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. And if you was going to write this, and if you could jump in a DeLorean and go back to the future, what you would do is you would look at it right now like, wow, that was perfect storytelling, because look where we're at right now. Roman Reigns is a Universal champ. Drew McIntyre is a WWE champion. And Brock Lesnar, we don't even know where he is and when he's going to turn up. But it's so funny that we're at the end of 2020 and the Royal Rumble is coming up, in a month. Go ahead, Jared.
Yeah, you hit it. You hit it, bro. He took out the two biggest names, biggest stars, biggest wrestlers in the company. Took out Brock first, and then took out Roman. And that told you right then and there that they about to put all their chips on Drew McIntyre for the future. Right then and there, said it. Yo, we gonna ride with you on the Raw program, the brand ship of the WWE. You gonna be our star. We ride behind you. And Drew, we get into Drew a little bit later, but Drew has been the man of Monday night. Period. And I think a lot of us, we waited for a long time for Drew to get his shot. We go back years ago when he was a chosen one. He got the Intercontinental title, this and that, and then
I think he was a tag team champion as well, I believe.
Tag team champion, right? Yeah, tag team champion, and he admitted his flaws. He even admitted his flaws, and he left the company, went to TNA, got his mind right, came back, and at age 34, 35, he is the WWE champion now. He even was NXT champion and wasn't in NXT very long. So
a little under 6 months, I believe.
Yeah. He had to drop the title to Andrade because he got injured. But other than that, Drew has been phenomenal. We'll get to Drew later on. But back to the Royal Rumble. Okay? Let's talk about Edge. Edge coming back. We heard the rumors about Edge coming back. Some of us didn't believe it. Some of us did because, Daniel Bryan had the neck surgery and he came back. So we was like, it wasn't going to happen. We had no idea the Royal Rumble Edge was going to return. Bruh, you talk about one of the best returns ever at an event where there are always a surprise return with Diesel, Booker T, etc. But Edge?
You always get a great return in a room. You always get a nostalgic return where it's just for the fans. You got MVP did it, Beth Phoenix, Molly Holly, like you said, Booker T, Diesel. Everybody's made the Hurricane. He got a good pop back in the day. But Edge came back not for a one-timer. It was to come back to tell everybody he's back, and he's back in the title picture. He's back as a full-time active wrestler, and it's got to be one of the top 5 pops of all time. Forget Royal Rumble history, wrestling history. That place was electric.
Hell yeah. And that place was electric. Big time fans like you and I, Mohammed, Joe, etc. We all was on our couch going crazy when we heard that you think you know me.
Right. When that you think you know me, bro. I said, oh
yeah.
I wish I had a video camera on me at the time for my reaction because I lost my shit.
You weren't the only one. Trust me. Edge returning to wrestling, man, that was just the icing on the cake. And we know Edge got injured, but Edge is going to come back and wrestle some more. I think we're going to see Edge with the WWE title one day. It's just a lot to be told with Edge because the story is not done. But also the Royal Rumble. Go ahead.
The Rumble's around the corner.
Oh, yeah. Rumble's around the corner. But also, speaking of the Royal Rumble pay-per-view itself, we saw one of the best matches of the year in the Fiend versus Daniel Bryan. Even though the Fiend came out on top, but that was a phenomenal match.
A great match. Any match Daniel Bryan is a great match, and he's always, you gotta love Daniel Bryan as a performer and as just a talent because he knows his career is coming to an end. He wants he wants part-time now. Yeah, he doesn't mind because he got his wish. He got to come back. He became WWE champion again. He's accomplished everything he wanted to accomplish. And now he's, he made a start of Drew Gulak. He's helping the younger Taters of mine being on the pre-show. He's just happy to be in the ring. So it's always good to see Daniel Bryan in the ring.
Definitely. Also, let's not forget Daniel Bryan has been loyal to that company, even when that company didn't want him to return early when he felt good. He is still loyal to that company. And I think with him going part-time, he being a father of 2 now, I'm good with that. I'm good with that. He's done everything that was asked of him. He never complained one time in that company. True team player. So I'm good with him being part-time. Wouldn't mind seeing him get the strap again. Either one, black, red, blue, whatever. But Daniel Bryan definitely. And one more match that we got to talk about from the Royal Rumble that was also awesome. Becky Lynch and Asuka. Becky Lynch defeated Asuka by submission, but bro, you talk about two of the best in the game early in the year.
Yeah, listen, they put that pay-per-view together like they knew something was. They didn't know COVID was going to happen, but it seems like that they put it together knowing they had to put in a great show, and they did. That was a great Rumble. You can't say it was bad at all. You know, every match was a good match.
Totally, every match was a good match, and just Charlotte winning the Rumble. Let's not forget that, and Drew winning the men's Rumble. To the matches they had, like we said, that was one of the better Rumbles in years, man, years. And here we are talking about it at the top of the show, the Royal Rumble of 2020. And we are a few weeks away from the 2021 Royal Rumble. But right after the Rumble, a lot of us are getting ready for WrestleMania. I got my tickets. I got my flight set. I got my Airbnb. My brother from another mother, he got his Airbnb. He got his flight. He got his belts already packed. He ready to come down to Tampa. And then we have the pandemic, COVID-19. And COVID-19 has hit sports entertainment like never before, to where wrestling was being done in front of no fans at all. No more house shows. It was different. It was different. Not hearing fans cheer was just something new to us. And with the fans, I think a lot of people realize a lot of the fans make up wrestling shows. Yes, they make up the wrestlers. We know that. Without the wrestlers having fans, the wrestlers are nothing. But the shows itself, without the fans cheering, without the fans booing, without the fans having signs, that took away from the show big time, man. And that was disheartening for a good while. You go ahead, my brother.
You know how I felt. Like I was one of the last holdouts, just praying that maybe some miracle was going to happen and we would have WrestleMania and we'd be able to go. And I remember when they announced that they weren't going to do it, bro. It was like somebody punched me in my stomach. I had never been so hurt about not being able to go to a wrestling match ever in my life. I was literally depressed that we weren't going to see each other and be together, all of us at WrestleMania. I was depressed. And then, it seems real shallow because at the time you realize it was going to get as bad as it got, that all these people, forget America, in the world have died from this terrible COVID-19. I mean, I know a lot of friends and family members that had it. And thank God every family member you raise your hand, or I don't want to put it out there.
That's all good. We good now, yeah.
I didn't know who knew. So if y'all didn't know, I'm going to say it for Jared. Jared got hit with COVID-19 last month, in the beginning of last month, right? Is that right?
No, Thanksgiving week, 2 weeks ago. Thanksgiving week.
Oh, Thanksgiving week.
Yeah, that's a month. Yeah, that's a month now. Yeah. That's a month now. Yeah.
So yeah, Jared was sick. I knew about it. He let me know what was going on. Thank God, Jared, that you're okay. You are definitely blessed. It ain't your time to go nowhere, because I know some people. I don't know people personally have died, but I know some friends that have lost family members and friends. So thank God you're okay, and I hope God blesses everybody's world. We get this thing over and we all get healthy. But that being said, other than just being depressed because of COVID-19, wrestling is the one outlet we all have. One thing we have to look to when we're having a bad week or a bad day or something not right in your life. You click on the TV, you can watch AEW, you can watch WWE, you can go to YouTube, watch something old, go to the network, watch the Attitude Era, whatever you want to do, you can do it and make you feel better. And not having how I was about not having fans in the stands, man.
I know.
It killed me in the beginning.
I'm gonna get to that in a little bit, yeah. But
it was tough.
Go ahead. Very tough.
It was a tough year.
Yeah, very tough, man. You watching the show itself. You watching Raw, you watching SmackDown, AEW, NXT, whatever you were watching. Okay, whatever is your choice of preference, doesn't matter. You don't have any fans cheering or booing, man. It's like watching a bland show, I guess. It was just boring. The fans brings a different type of atmosphere to the show. To the show. I mean, think about it. Years ago, Stephanie McMahon was called slut from 16,000 people. Man, slut. Then let's say now, is she on the ring and it's crickets? The fans bring so much excitement and bring a different type of atmosphere to the show. Tony, this is why I say whenever the first show that allows a full capacity of fans, the fans will pop like never before. If you thought the Raw after Mania was something, I'm telling you, that show will be like never before. The fans will not shut up. I'm telling you, my brother. I'm telling you.
No, you're right. It's gonna be like you know what? It's gonna be compared to. It's gonna be compared to the Raw during 9/11. That first show, like everybody was so distraught, and then everybody got brought together, and the crowd was electric that day because America all in one voice said, "Yo, we're not gonna take this crap, and we're gonna all stick together." And it's all about the wrestling community. It is gonna be crazy. No matter the first match, like you said, that has a capacity crowd. I'm hoping I can get lucky enough to be there, but
Right.
It's going to be crazy. And if we get lucky enough, if we pray to God, please God, if we get to go to WrestleMania this year and we get to go and it's a crowd, oh my God, we're gonna burn the town down.
Bruh. Burn it down ain't the word. I think we might produce some lava, bro. Something, man. I don't know, bro. I mean, man, it's
There
just
will be no sleeping. There will not be any sleep. We'll all be on caffeine pills, Red Bulls, whatever
yes.
the case got. There will
5
be no
hour
sleep.
energy shots.
Boom, 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 boom. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh man, Muhammad not gonna sleep on a plane from Abu Dhabi.
He might need to sleep the whole ride for Abu Dhabi because that'll be the only sleep he's gonna get the whole time.
Oh man, look, man, COVID has brought something that no one could expect. We never saw this happening no time soon to where we couldn't have fans at any sporting event, not just wrestling, but football, basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever. But it's crazy. But hopefully, we pray sooner than later we can get this under control, and then we can get back to a normal life, and then we can get back to going to wrestling shows, you and I and everybody else. But
slowly but surely.
Yeah. With that being said, WrestleMania 36 did go on at the WWE Performance Center, and you and I went back and forth. Not no bad way, people. No bad way. Trust me, wasn't a bad way. My man Tony couldn't get into it without the fans. We got robbed. And I told Tony, look, I feel how you feel because the fans play a major part, but I need you to watch this and just watch the wrestling and enjoy the show as a fan. And after the WrestleMania, he said, yo, JB, thank you, bro. Thank you, cuz I just sat back and just enjoyed the magic that we saw from WrestleMania for 2 days. Yeah, it was hard without the fans. No cheering or nothing, but us being fans, let's appreciate what we were being given. Because they could have shut down and said we're not wrestling until whenever. But they gave us a show, and WrestleMania was a 2-night show. And to me, it's not one of the better Manias, but it was a good Mania, and I'm thankful for what they gave us. Still. We saw Drew take out Brock. We saw Braun Strowman become Universal Champion because Roman opted out. We saw KO and Seth put on a phenomenal match. We saw The Fiend get revenge on John Cena, and then we saw what's being talked about as one of the best matches of 2020, Undertaker versus AJ Styles. You know, we saw Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. We saw that. We saw Becky against Shayna Baszler. You know, we had some good matches still, but thankful to still have a show in WrestleMania, even though it's not like the WrestleManias you and I have been to, but thankful.
It definitely you definitely know my opinion on it from the beginning. I was not happy. I was not in a good mood. I was dragging my feet about WrestleMania. Like I ain't watching. I'm not getting. And you said, Tony, give it a chance. You told me on the show and on the phone, Tony, give it a chance. And you said something real good that woke me up. You said, Tony, they could not put on a show at all, and we get nothing. You said football, basketball, baseball, we losing all that. At least we still got wrestling. I was like, you know what? At least they're trying to do something. And, my thing is, I had to really think about it. But being a former professional wrestler, I should know this like not to wrestle in front of nobody because I've wrestled in front of two people in a match once. That is not a lie. I had a match in West Virginia during a snowstorm. Two people showed up to the hall I was in. Two people. And guess what? The show went on because it's for the fans. So for the WWE conglomerate to put a show on for us, you got to appreciate it. And it wasn't, you can't say it was a great WrestleMania, but it definitely was an unforgettable WrestleMania because of the climate, what was going on. And all the matches were decent,
Yeah.
I can't complain. Yeah, I can't complain about any of the matches that went on. To me, one of the matches that stole the show was the non-tag team title match. With who was it? Morrison.
Oh, the regular triple threat for the SmackDown titles, tag team titles.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. I thought that was a great match. And I really love Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte, and the outcome of it blew my mind that Charlotte won the NXT title.
Right.
But every match was good. It was, you can't complain. Even Shayna Baszler losing shocked me too. So they did some things that definitely throw us off a little bit, and they put in a good show. I wasn't happy about Goldberg being champion, and Braun Strowman's never been my favorite, but they gave him the title. You can say the title reign, and we had a WrestleMania. It might not have been the WrestleMania we wanted, but of course, Undertaker, like you said, versus AJ Styles in the first ever Boneyard match. I thought it was one of the greatest cinematic matches we ever seen.
Correct.
The Undertaker went out on top, and it was great. And the Cena in an NWO shirt was crazy.
That was very crazy. Very crazy itself. Cena and The Fiend, when Cena entered the Firefly Funhouse and then went through a whirlwind of all type of stuff, seeing his past and everything, and then he would have been an NWO member as a heel, because a lot of people wanted Cena to turn heel at one time, and it never happened because Cena was #1 in merchandise sales. Them kids bought everything that he sold. Everything. So yeah, Mania 36 was a great show. It was a great show. Like you said, it ain't the best Mania. It won't be the best Mania, but thankful to give us something. And we talked about the matches and everything, and just seeing, something on TV, man, to get our mind off of what's going on in the world was great in itself. We saw Braun Strowman become Universal Champion. Now, at the time that he won it, we were like, nah, this should have happened. It should have happened a long, long time ago. But it was the right decision because Roman opted out. It's the right decision. Get that belt off of Goldberg, man. Get him off. Get it off of him, man.
Keep him away.
Hey, keep him away, but he's gonna wrestle again, brother. You know it's coming.
I know. It's definitely coming.
Yeah, it's definitely coming. But WrestleMania 36, I took off my hat. I clapped. I was grateful for 2 nights of good wrestling, and hopefully WrestleMania 37. We haven't heard nothing yet, and we're in December, about to be in January, supposed to be in late March. We haven't heard one thing about what's going on. Hopefully, very soon they give us a word about if they're going to have a few fans, no fans, whatever. But hopefully soon we get a word. If it ain't meant to be this year, look, WrestleMania 38, wherever. It was in England. It was in Canada. I don't give a damn. I didn't miss out since 34. I'm not missing out again. Well, I'm going.
If rumors are to be true, I think they're trying to push it back in April a little further, you know, if that's what they do, if I'm being optimistic, if they can push it back to the end of April, maybe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we got a shot. I think we got a shot. I don't think I think March is gonna be a little too early. But I think that because of the vaccine going around and everything, I think by April we got a shot. If they push it back, we got a shot. You know, and if not, we'll figure it out. You know, we got SummerSlam, we got other match, we got other big pay-per-views coming up. So
yeah,
it's gonna happen eventually. But we just gotta be patient and, you know, hope for the best. You know.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Hope for the best, pray, and we will see what happens. Now, going into 2020, we had the start of the Wednesday Night Wars. That is AEW versus NXT. And AEW had a couple pay-per-views that started off, and there was some great pay-per-views. You know, Cody against his brother Dustin, the Young Bucks against the Lucha Brothers, Chris Jericho against Paige, Chris Jericho against him, Kenny Omega again. They had some good shows. NXT never fails to deliver. So
Never.
I guess I'm gonna start with you. You know, throw the ratings out of this. Between NXT and AEW, which one has been the better show in your opinion?
Well, you know, I thank you for sending me what was going on in notes earlier. So I made some notes on all the topics coming up. Jared does his homework. Jared does his homework, just so you know. But I was not a fan of AEW. It's warming up to me slowly but surely, very slowly at that. And like you said, throw the ratings out the window because it's people don't realize when you have a network like the WWE does, people know they can watch it later.
That's correct.
So you know, and you can't watch AEW anywhere except TNT unless you watch clips on YouTube, and people want to see the whole show.
Or so, if you got a TNT app, you can search it in there and watch it. You can.
Right. But the ratings are based off of live and off of DVR.
Right.
See, people don't realize that the ratings on the network aren't the same as the ratings that you see on regular TV on broadcast television. So people are seeing you, and I'm doing this because I know he said not the ratings, but I want Walter Silver to hear this because he's a big ratings guy. So when AEW gets 900,000 and NXT gets 700,000, Walter Silver automatically thinks they won, the AEW won. What you're not realizing is that you got 400,000 people that haven't watched it on the network yet. So that's that. But as of wrestling, like you said, NXT always puts on a great show. No matter what storyline or match they got going, they figure it out. Yeah, Keith Lee dominating half the year on NXT, not to mention Undisputed Era. Karrion Kross, who definitely, Damian Priest, who definitely elevated his game, not to mention, like I was saying, Karrion Kross and the lovely Scarlett with her, mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
Breezango pulling off the upset, becoming NXT Tag Team Champions.
Yeah.
Even, we don't see him what's going on now, but Velveteen Dream having great matches against Adam Cole, street fights. Whatever you want to say about NXT, if there's anything bad, I don't know what it is, because to me, no matter what the ratings say, they are the superior brand. And people are going to say, oh, no, well, they're the third rate. No, they're another WWE product, just like SmackDown and just like Raw. So, because if AEW was so strong, then they would go on Monday nights too, then, and really go against Raw, and Raw struggling in ratings. So, and I'm not going to put AEW down because they definitely give up-and-comers a chance. Moxley coming on, I definitely liked it. People don't like Moxley's style, but he's a name, Chris Jericho, with a little bit of bubbly, he has been money the whole year. Yes. Win or lose, he has been hilarious. MJW, MJW. I'm thinking about one of my guys from Mania Club. I'm gonna mention that later. MJF. I was thinking my friend Mike Wesley Jr. But anyway, he has been phenomenal. Taz with his little group has been great. and even we got the comeback of Sting in AEW.
Right.
So regardless of what you think, it was a good year for wrestling all around. And if you want to give the winner who won, NXT won wrestling wise, AEW won in aspects of high profile matches and stars.
Yes, definitely stars. When you think about it, with Chris Jericho and then John Moxley leaving WWE as Dean Ambrose and going to AEW as John Moxley,
Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger, FTR, who were the what were they called?
The Revival.
The Revival. Yeah, definitely. Like it's that was AEW. You know, not to compare it, but you have to compare it. Was like when WCW stole WWF's at the time stars, as in Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, all of them stole them all. Yeah, definitely. You know, so it's similar. NXT to me is the better show. Better show wrestling, better show promo wise. I also gotta say, I like the fact that eventually everybody that comes into that training center gets a shot on NXT. It might be 2 years down the line, it might be 3 years down the line, but think about it. We've seen NXT for years, and we got stars after stars after stars that graduate to the main roster all the time. And we get new stars that we get to look at and see. And we always sit here and say, man, I hope they give such and such a chance on the main roster. Give this guy a chance on the main roster. And sometimes that don't happen. For instance, Kofi Kingston, 11 years to get one shot at the WWE title. Big E hasn't got one shot at the WWE title yet, but maybe that might happen in the future. I don't know. But NXT, guys get shots, and then guys move up. Sometimes we wish they stay at NXT because we got a feeling of what's going to happen if they move up. But with all that being said, NXT is the better show. AEW started off with their first couple shows on fire. I will not lie, but all of a sudden it's like, man, it's hard to watch. And I'm not trying to bring them down. I just believe the better wrestling is on NXT. Hands down, to me, NXT is the better show.
Hey, bro, I kind of agree with you, of course. And like I said, I was never big on AEW, but you know what? They're doing the right thing. They're making baby steps. They haven't crossed the threshold yet. They haven't passed the finish line yet. But I mean, you know, I learned something, and you always learn as you get older, that even if something's not the way you want it, if they're trying to get to the same spot of where somebody else is, they can reach their goal. So AEW, to me, you know, there's some holes in it. You know, there's some product value that could be better. But that being said, it is an alternative. You get to see some of your stars that you're not going to see on WWE or Impact or the other companies. And the one thing that I think that AEW has done well is they've done the crossover stuff with Impact Wrestling, and they brought different fans in with Impact. So, I mean, NXT, of course, is the better show. We know that. But we got more. The more wrestling, the better.
The better. Correct. It's one thing I want to see from this past Wednesday. So, as we know, NXT came on at its regular time. AEW came on after the NBA basketball playoffs. I want to see the ratings. I have to go look it up because it's Saturday, but I want to see the ratings. And I want to see if NXT numbers went up due to the fact that AEW had to wait until the basketball playoffs went off to air their show. That's going to really tell you and I who all go to the network and watch NXT later on.
Yeah, it's definitely going to tell. It's going to be a great sign of who's watching what. Yeah. But like I said, you can't go wrong. We got wrestling all around. We got Monday night. We got Tuesday night. We got Wednesday night. We have Friday night. You know, we got all kind of wrestling nights. You know, not to mention you got YouTube. You got the network. So you got wrestling all around, man. You can't complain. Got pay-per-views once a month, sometimes twice a month.
Twice a month, yeah. Can't
With
complain at all.
AEW, sometimes it's 3 times a month. So, we got to all just embrace that the wrestling community, that they have been the one sport / entertainment that has went nonstop. Hollywood stopped. All major sports stopped. Wrestling is the one sport / entertainment that has still gone 365 days, 24/7, and they haven't stopped. So you got to give credit to every wrestling organization that has been out there during COVID. They kept us entertained.
Definitely. And that's from Raw, SmackDown, AEW, Impact, MLW on YouTube, Ring of Honor, all these organizations, man. We're so thankful.
All right, are you moving to the next topic?
I'm about to, but you got something to say?
No, because the one you're doing now, I want to start the next one, the one after the one you're doing now.
Drew McIntyre?
I want to start the next one after Drew.
Roman?
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
so we're going Drew, then Roman. When we get to Roman, I'll let you start it off. Definitely.
Gotcha.
All right. So we're going into the biggest star on the Raw roster, and might be the second biggest star behind Roman Reigns right now. That is Drew McIntyre. As you know, he won the Slammy for Male Superstar of the Year and Superstar of the Year. I can't complain and argue about it. I think it's well deserved. From the Royal Rumble, from what he did to beating Brock Lesnar, and you're beating Randy Orton, AJ Styles. You got a match with Roman. Listen, this has been in the makings for years for for Drew McIntyre to be the chosen one. Like I said early in the show, he had flaws. He left the company. He addressed his flaws, knew what he did wrong, admitted his mistakes, and came back and has been the man. He's been the man on Monday Night Raw. NXT for a short while, he was the man. He was with Dolph for a little while. And then we saw him lose to Ricochet and all that. We sit there saying like, yo, man, don't do Drew this. Drew is well deserving to be world champion. The Rumble came. We just didn't know they was waiting to the Rumble. We just didn't know. And everything for Drew just blew up. And I'm glad he's the face of Monday Night Raw. You can't name no one else and compare them to Drew McIntyre to be the face of Monday Night Raw. No one else. AJ Styles, I love him to death. But AJ Styles is older. He's older. Drew's only 35. Drew got some years left. It's Drew time. AJ was the face of SmackDown when he went over that show years ago. He was. Drew McIntyre is the man. I love what they're doing with him, giving us good rivalries. AJ, Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar,
Keith Lee,
you name it. Drew McIntyre is the face of Raw, 2-time WWE champion. He's going to win it some more. It won't surprise me if he happens to lose the belt sometime soon and regain it at not the Rumble, at WrestleMania with fans to get his moment, whenever that may be. But there's no denying, Drew McIntyre is the superstar of the year for the WWE.
You have said it all, my brother. There was a little bit of foreshadowing of Drew might win the Rumble when they put him in after he broke it with Dolph and he got in the ring. He started counting down the Claymore, the 3, 2, 1, and getting the fans behind him counting down. And then we could see that they're getting behind him again. He did everything right. He's a guy that got released and he left the company and he didn't cry. He never heard anything bad about Drew. He went to different organizations, changed his look, got the beard, he got jacked. And you got to thank Sheamus for that too, because Sheamus got him in good shape. People don't realize this. Him and Sheamus are great friends in real life, and Sheamus gave him that extra 30 pounds of muscle you see him every day. Him working out, eating right, getting a good attitude. He even said it in his documentary on WWE. His attitude wasn't right.
Yep.
He was very like, oh, I'm the shit. He didn't have to work hard. He came back with a great work ethic. He impressed everybody. NXT won the NXT championship in under 6 months. Believe it or not, he got injured, shoulder injury from Andrade. They called a fly in the match right there, gave the title to Andrade, and maybe the injury was the best thing for him because he had to start over again.
Right.
Because he came to Raw with Dolph, and we're like, why are we putting him with Dolph? What's going on here? And we couldn't see it. He was starting the job, and we're like, oh no, not again. Just like you said. I'm just repeating everything you said because what you said was right. But then he drops Dolph, turns him face, gives a 3-2-1 Claymore countdown. Fans get behind him, and then at the Royal Rumble, explosion, and look where we're at today. Drew McIntyre on the top at the beginning of 2020, and at the end of 2020, still on top. Drew McIntyre is Superstar of the Year. He is a 2-time WWE champion. He's also a former IC champion, a former tag team champion, a former NXT champion. The guy has had all the gold, baby. He only needs a U.S. title for the Grand Slam Championship, and that'll probably be someone down the road too. I'm happy that he's in the position he's in. You know, it's very hard with a non-American wrestler to hold a title for that long. You got to think about it, man. He's got an accent. Not a lot of WWE champions have been, Scottish or Irish. Of course, we've had Sheamus, but not a lot of foreign-born WWE champions. So Drew McIntyre has definitely finally filled the position that Vince McMahon had for him. He is now truly the chosen one.
I totally agree. And it's funny that you said he came back jacked. Because I remember watching that Rumble. My brother was here, and he's not as big as a wrestling fan as I am. But, he'll watch Street Profits because he loved Montez Ford, man. He's like, man, that dude could talk. But he walked in the room and said, and Drew had just walked in the ring in a Rumble, and he said, golly, he bigger than Brock almost. And I said, you remember Drew McIntyre from back in the day when he was slimmer? He said, no. I said, yeah, that's him. Yeah, Drew, man.
You gotta work hard.
That's it.
It's all hard work, and it's mental, man. It's mental. He changed. And this is what everybody should live by. You could say you're gonna do something, but if your mindset is not right, nothing else is gonna follow. You got his mind right.
Hey, let me use you for example. You trying to lose this weight, you have to get your mindset mentally and physically right to do what you got to do.
Listen, bro, my head was so messed up because if you see me 10 years ago, if you look at my old pictures, if you go back 6 years on Facebook, I'm jacked. Jacked. I got my Batman shirt on. I'm jacked. Arms 20 inches. I got the traps like when Dean Ambrose came back.
Yeah,
bro, I was jacked. And then you know what happens, people? Life happens. Right. And you don't think that your mind affects your body, but it's 100% because if you don't have dedication and you're not focused, you can't tell yourself, yo, stop eating this. Yo, get your ass off the couch. Go take a walk. It ain't all about going to the gym all the time. It's about being motivated and getting your mind right. And Drew's mind was right. Like my mind's right now is why I'm looking so svelte right now. Even though I'm still big, I'm smaller than I was 7 months ago. So I'm feeling good. My attitude's better, as you can see. And I'm pretty sure Drew McIntyre at the top of the heat with the WWE Championship on his shoulder feels the exact same way.
Most definitely. And it couldn't happen to a better guy, in my opinion. A better guy. He worked hard for it. So, yeah, he was deserving of this. And I hope they ride on Drew. I think he's the best thing on Raw besides AJ Styles. I think they're the best too. But Drew right now is his time to shine. If he loses the belt, please stay behind Drew, because that's your guy right now. Seth is on SmackDown with Roman. Seth not going to eclipse Roman. It's not going to happen. Drew is your guy on Raw. Keep it happening. I'm riding with Drew, man. This is something that we all wanted to see for years, and we got to see it this year.
I agree. I definitely agree with you, bro.
Yeah. Drew McIntyre, everybody, the biggest star on Monday Night Raw. Yes.
That being said, I'm gonna take over the hosting for this real quick one. I'm gonna lead this one. So we went from Drew McIntyre to the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Now let me get this started because I've been excited about Roman Reigns this whole time. As you see, Jared point to the Universal title. So everybody knows that I'm the one guy in MVS that has always been on the side of Roman Reigns. A lot of people was down him like, oh, why is he being pushed down our throat? Oh my God, why does Vince kiss his ass so much? And I told everybody, you can't be mad at Roman for what they're giving him. If someone gives you $1 million, I'm pretty sure you're going to take it.
Yeah.
So Roman Reigns has now come into his full potential. He has realized everything that Vince, I give Vince credit because you don't like Vince, but I give Vince credit. Vince saw something in Roman that a lot of us did not see. Now I saw it, but his true potential is where he is right now. He is the biggest heel in the business. He is the superstar of SmackDown. He is now I believe he's a 5-time champion when it comes to WWE.
I believe so.
Right? I think he's a 5-time.
So.
Yeah. He has done everything from his emergence from the Shield. Everybody's like, oh my God, the Shield. And oh, Roman's the worst guy in the Shield. He's not the best wrestler. It's not always about being the best wrestler. It's about getting over. And Roman is the most over superstar, forgetting WWE, in the business today. Do not tell me that you cannot wait for Friday Night SmackDown to come on to see what the head of the table, what your tribal chief is going to do. He has pulled in his cousin Jey Uso. I want to tell you this as a spoiler, Jimmy Uso is not far behind. And the coup of the century, pulling in the mouthpiece, pulling in someone that's going to give him even more heat. My friend, I call him my friend because I used to work for him, someone who got me my start in wrestling business. Paul E. Dangerously himself, Mr. Paul Heyman. He has that X factor behind him, which makes Roman even more powerful because sometimes Roman don't even have to talk. Sometimes he just gives a look like, and Paul E. will talk for him. This guy, Roman Reigns, is the truth. I don't see him dropping the strap no time soon. They're going to ride the Roman wave past WrestleMania. Maybe we get to see Roman and maybe we get to see title for title at Mania with Roman and Drew. We don't know because Roman does have a win over Drew in this new era when Drew's become champion. So, and I do believe that Drew has never beaten Roman either. So what better way to get a big match after, this COVID thing comes down? Roman has done it all, bro. He's done it all. United States champion, Intercontinental champion, WWE champion, Universal champion. He never got the NXT title, but no need to have that right now.
Right.
Roman right now is the man. What do you got to say about that, Jared? Hey, by the way, it's nice throwing it over to you for a change. I like that.
Look, Roman was the man at WrestleMania 32, 33, 34. He came back from cancer at 35.
Listen, right there is enough, bro.
That's it.
You beat cancer, you beat anything.
Look, Roman main evented WrestleMania 31, 32, 33, and 34. He didn't main event 35 because he faced Drew McIntyre at 35. But they didn't main event it. That was the women. But he has main evented 4 WrestleManias in this decade. This decade in regards to WrestleMania 30 starting. He's main evented 4. What does that tell you? Because Cena was doing the main events before that. Then it was Roman. Roman is the man, like you said. And he was the man when everybody booed him. They booed this man, and the boos were not deserved. He didn't deserve any of them boos. Crazy. I'm at Access at 32. I wasn't meeting Roman at 32, but he walked out. And as soon as he walked out, boo! The match against Triple H, they booed him. 33 against The Undertaker. Supposedly retired The Undertaker at the time. They booed that man out that arena.
The next day on Raw, he only got to say one line. This is my yard now. That's because the crowd booed him so much.
Booed him for like 5-6 minutes straight. He couldn't. I think Roman had more words to say that night, but the crowd would not let him talk. And to me, that phrase killed the crowd. This is my yard now. Boom, drop the mic and walk out. That killed the crowd. Like, I'm going to show y'all, I beat this man. This is my yard. I'm the man. Roman is the man. And let's get to when Bray versus Fiend happened at SummerSlam, I believe. Bray versus Braun. The third match, the rubber match, I believe. I don't think any of us knew when Roman was coming back.
None of us knew.
None of us knew. That was a big time shock. Roman coming back, and we were happy, but at the same time we were like, this ain't the Roman we know. This is different.
Wreck everyone and leave.
Yes. Wreck everyone and leave. Show up and win. The tribal chief, the head of the table. This heel Roman is the best version of Roman ever. And Roman's promo skills are so much better. So much better. So while he was
allowed to be him.
Yeah, he's being him. And while he was out, he had to work on his promo skills because they're so much better. It's like he's more calm when he talks. He's not talking as loud. He's a little bit more mellow, like more relaxed. Like telling Jey Uso, you're going to learn from me. I'm the head of the table. You'll be out. You and your family will be out. Just do what I say. Like that. My goodness. From that till believe that. It's a total difference. He's so much calm, relaxed. Dog. If Roman would have did this in January, we'd be saying Roman is superstar of the year, but he came back so late. This dude is the #1 draw. The #1 draw. Don't give me Cody Rhodes because he's the biggest face in AEW. Hell no. That's not the case. Don't give me Jon Moxley. Hell no. Your #1 draw is Roman Reigns. Period.
Period, point blank. That's it. He's the #1 draw in all the wrestling business. And all the fans and everybody MVS that don't like it, guess what? As Ric Flair says, learn to love it. Because right now, Roman Reigns is the best thing happening today. And he's not going nowhere, barring an injury. Because they're going to ride this wave as long as they can, especially when they get asses in the seats. Can you imagine the boos he going to get now?
Woo! Bruh, you said it best. You said it best. Look, if you booed Roman years ago, and if you still hate Roman now, something wrong with you because you just got your wish. He's a heel. He's a heel. You cannot hate this man now if you was hating him years ago. You got your wish. He's a heel. But he's the #1 heel and the #1 superstar of any organization.
Live with it.
You got to live with it.
Deal with it.
You got to deal with it.
Love it.
You better love it. Roman Reigns is the man, ladies and gentlemen. Hands down. The storylines that he's been in, man, they've been second to none. Phenomenal. I mean, you beat Bray, you beat Braun, you beat Jay. 2 matches, 2 great matches at that, and then Kevin Owens and this TLC match.
Oh,
yeah.
Not to mention the steel cage yesterday.
Oh, the steel cage. Yeah.
Our Christmas present for us all.
Yes, totally. Man, look, telling you, embrace this because this one go down in history. Roman Reigns, this run he's on, because eventually he's gonna turn heel again one day. Not heel, face it, eventually. But right now, You cannot tell me you not tuning into SmackDown because of Roman. You cannot tell me that because I know I
Let
am. I know you
I
are.
listen. Let me just say this as closing out for Roman Reigns. 'Cause I know we got to keep it moving.
Huh?
But last night's SmackDown drew 3.3 million people, and the first hour was 4 million people. Okay, that has to do with Roman Reigns and the stories he is telling. Because the raise up with him and Kevin Owens, the raise up with him and Jey Uso. It's Roman, Roman, Roman. Let's give Big E a little bit of a nod too, because
Oh yeah, yeah.
maybe people foreshadowed what was going to happen. But those ratings, they're killing Raw in the ratings, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
because of Roman. And that's because of Roman.
Definitely, definitely. Because of Roman, and I'm also going to say this also. To me, SmackDown compared to Raw, SmackDown got better wrestling, and the storyline on SmackDown is better than Raw. Just my opinion.
You got the two big names on SmackDown, Roman Reigns and Sasha Banks.
There you go. And
And
then
maybe speaking of Sasha Banks, you want to segue into something else.
I'm about to really, but let me say this: let's not forget Seth Rollins.
Of course,
Yeah, he's on SmackDown now. So yeah,
he's on paternity leave right now. But
exactly.
he brought a new dynamic to the show as well.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. So now transitioning the WWE Women's Division. I guess we could say it could have been hurt with Charlotte and Becky going on hiatus. Becky with injury, Charlotte took a little break, got a breast reduction and everything. But Asuka, Sasha, Bailey, and even Io Shirai, who's on NXT, have held it down for the women's division. But more importantly, Sasha and Bailey been the main two to carry that flag while Becky and Sasha have been out. And, you know, I give a lot of props to them. They made it worthwhile because to me, Charlotte is the best women's wrestler in the world. To me, Becky is the most over women's wrestler in the world. But as far as technicality and in the ring, to me, Charlotte, Sasha, and Asuka. 1, 2, 3. Okay, with Charlotte being number one. And I think Sasha can hold her own with anybody, and people have said that's in the business. Sasha makes other wrestlers look better than any other wrestler would make that person look in the ring. So to see Sasha and Bailey, tag team champs, SmackDown champs, Raw champs, two belt banks, those champs, Bailey, they held it down while Becky and Charlotte was out, and also Asuka, because Asuka been in the limelight also the whole year. Is it a feud with Sasha, wrestling Bailey a couple times? Gotta give those three women credit. They've been the main three.
The WWE has done something with the women's division that we have been begging for years. You mentioned, of course, Charlotte. You mentioned Becky. You mentioned Io Shirai. You also mentioned Asuka. Um, you mentioned Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
You missed three women, in my opinion, who, and you didn't miss them, but I just, I guess you figured I was going to take them over. Who definitely made this year so much better for wrestling. Rhea Ripley. Not also, this is going to be a shock coming from me. Nia Jax
Mm-hmm.
has definitely shown that she's a top tier star, and of course Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Every storyline that these women have been involved in, all these women have been involved in, they've interceded with each other. You've got Asuka going against Nia. You had Nia going against Shayna, and then bringing Shayna and Nia together. You then got the tag team when you got Bailey, Bailey and Sasha going. It's they have done everything right. the only person they've dropped the ball on, in my opinion, is Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
She's the only person they dropped the ball on. But I think they got big plans for her. And like you said about Sasha, that she makes everybody look better. Let me tell you something right now. TLC, Sasha versus Carmella.
Yeah.
What a freaking match.
Yes.
Right now, Carmella might be the biggest women heel in the damn business because she is hot right now.
Yes.
The women's division is off the charts right now. You know, they finally found Asuka's sweet spot. They're giving her the push she's deserved. You know, since she lost to Charlotte at WrestleMania 34.
That's correct.
I had to backtrack a little bit. You know, Becky Lynch getting pregnant, having the baby. You know, they threw a curveball at everybody, but Asuka has carried the torch. She won the Money in the Bank. Didn't even realize she won the title that night.
Right.
We didn't realize.
What a
nice little swerve that was. Like, you know, hey, you're the champion, by the way.
Yep.
And by the way, I'm having a baby. NXT Women's Division let's not forget NXT, you know, with Raquel Rodriguez.
Gonzalez.
I keep calling her Rodriguez for some reason. I don't know why. She's like a double R to me. But Raquel Gonzalez, yo, she's the truth right now.
Yeah.
You know, not to mention your girl, Candice LeRae.
Yes.
Who was in the ladder match. She had a great match.
Yeah. With
the return of my future ex-wife, Miss Eclipse herself, Ember Moon.
Yeah.
Shotzi.
Shotzi, yes, coming up, yes.
You got the women's division is on fire. You know, Naomi. If Naomi comes back strong, you know, not to mention Natalya didn't have a terrible year. You know.
Yeah, that's right.
Even Lana was pushed.
Yeah.
She went through the table 55 times, bro. You know. And then you got the women up and coming in NXT, you know. So listen, you know, it's what's the other one from NXT?
Man, we can name a lot. We can name Dakota Kai, Tegan Knox.
Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
Another one.
We can name a lot.
Great women's division. They can hold a match against the men.
Yes.
Listen, I'm happy with it.
I'm very happy with it. In comparison to AEW, man, it's no comparison. The women in WWE / NXT is just so much better. So much better wise, man. It's just ridiculous, you know. And like you said, they have so much talent. And you named a bunch of names, and then you got, and like you said, Ember Moon back in NXT. You have Toni Storm. Now
Toni Storm, yes.
Toni Storm in NXT, you know, and not to mention, I'm still waiting for her to get her push. It's got to happen. Kaden Carter.
That's my girl, bro.
Yeah.
She's the future. She's my half Sasha, half Ember Moon. Her day's coming. Trust me, her day's coming. Yeah,
I'm waiting for that day, man. I'm waiting for her day to come, man, because I think she's in line for big things. So yeah, the women's division WWE is just. Man, it's just set in stone, man. It's wonderful to watch. You had a good tag team match on SmackDown last night with Charlotte Asuka versus.
Oh my God, we didn't mention the fucking EST.
Wait, Mr. Bianca, Bianca and Sasha and Carmella and Bayley all in the match. Yeah,
the EST of WWE and NXT.
That's correct.
Bianca Belair, who definitely is on the cusp of greatness. I know we're not doing a prediction show, but I'm going to tell you right now, she wins the Rumble this year, bro.
Ooh,
2021.
We're going to see. We're going to see. I told my girlfriend's father last night, because after we left my parents' house, we went back to her parents' house. And when I walked in, I sat down, he turned it on SmackDown. I said, "You don't watch SmackDown wrestling?" He said, "Yeah, but I know you do." So Bianca Belair winning the Rumble, that's something I thought about too. I think I told you maybe Lana, if she come back, I don't know, we'll see, but that's up in the air. Even Becky, if Becky show up at the Rumble, become a 2-time winner. We shall see. But yes, this women's division, man, it's on point. I love it. I love watching them.
And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off before I forget this. Before you go to the next topic, I just wanted to say you got to thank people like Lita, Trish Stratus,
Yes,
Molly Holly,
Medusa,
Melina, Medusa, Michelle McCool, Layla, all the women that paved the way.
Melina, all of them.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, because they definitely they're proud right now, the women's division.
Oh yeah, definitely, man.
The Glamazon Beth Phoenix.
Beth Phoenix, yes.
And then let's not forget
Please don't.
Hall of Famer, because she is
Yes.
Hall of Famer, China.
Yes, definitely China. Cannot forget any of those names because you got to think about the Attitude Era. You know, they were still wearing wrestling women like talking about it, and then all of a sudden it was a big explosion. China, Trish, Eve,
Jazz.
Lita, Jazz,
Jackie.
Jackie, Ivory. We can't forget Ivory. Can't forget Ivory.
Right. She was a glow girl.
Yes, exactly. We can't forget all of them, man. Medusa from years ago. We can go to Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah. We can go to all of them. They set the way for the women today, man, and it's wonderful. So, with that being said, there's a faction in WWE that's making waves, making big time waves, and I don't know if one man was behind it, but I think that one man went to creative and told him something. I got an idea, and it has been gold ever since.
Black and gold at that.
That is correct. Black and gold at that, and that is the Hurt Business. MVP came back, recruited Bobby Lashley first. Lashley joined, and it was those two for about maybe a month and a half.
Maybe too much, yeah.
Yeah, and then Shelton Benjamin. And then all of a sudden, Cedric was like, man, I'm tired of this crap. Cedric joins. People got to realize this. We can say MVP saved their careers and this and that. We really don't know behind the scenes. But I think MVP mentioned their names to creative of what he wanted, and they granted it. Because Bobby was on TV, but he was with Lana, and that was tragedy. Tragedy in itself. Cedric and Shelton was barely on TV. Here we are, December 26, 2020. Bobby Lashley, U.S. champion. Shelton and Cedric, Raw Tag Team champions. Ladies and gentlemen, MVP did wonders to save these guys' careers, you could say. MVP has done it all. He wrestles from time to time, but he's not worried about wrestling. He's happy with being a mouthpiece of a group, meaning a manager / just talking of a group. He don't care about being a champion, but he has his group, and he cares about these guys getting the spotlight, and that's what he's doing in the Hurt Business. To me,
is Mikey okay?
Probably right under.
What's he doing?
Right under maybe the Bullet Club in New Japan Pro Wrestling. The Hurt Business probably is the biggest faction in wrestling today. The Hurt Business. And I love it. I love it when they come on TV. I love everything about this group as we speak. The Hurt Business.
Yo, I'm sorry I was trying to mute my thing. I know it was muted. I'm sorry. I don't know if it came over.
You good?
I got kids. Sorry about that. Yo, the Hurt Business. When MVP came back at the Rumble, we thought it was a one-off.
Right.
Then they gave him, they put him on. He had a match the next night against Mysterio, if I'm correct. And Mysterio beat him pretty quick.
Yeah.
And then they had the MVP lounge. I was okay, he'll have a show. And then all of a sudden, boom.
Yes.
He starts his own faction. And as you know, if you know anything about the rumors, they were this close away from being the new nation of domination.
Exactly. Yes.
This close, but Vince nixed it because he wasn't sure it was going to go over these times. But Mark Henry even signed off on. Mark Henry was going to be part of it too. But that being said, I definitely agree that MVP went to creative, went to Vince, and said, "Listen, I got an idea, and I think it's going to work. Give me a chance."
Yeah.
And he has resurrected the careers of all three of these guys.
Yes.
Shelton Benjamin was missing in action.
Yes.
Bobby Lashley always stuck in some stupid storylines, never getting the push he deserves. And now he's a long-reigning U.S. champion. And like you said, the Raw Tag Team Champions. The breakout star is Cedric Alexander.
Yes.
You know, he is definitely running with this. He sees like, look, I'm the young buck here. I'm the young boy. You know, because you got to realize Lashley, MVP, and Shelton all in their 40s.
Yeah, exactly.
So Cedric's like, yo, I'm going to be the young buck. I'm going to run with this. This is the push I'm getting. I'm going to use it to the best of my ability. And the Hurt Business, listen, the shirt's on point. The merch is doing good. I got my black and gold shirt coming.
All right.
You know, when they do those buy one, get one for $1, I jump on it, bro. So,
yeah.
Listen, I'm impressed. I'm happy. It's always great to see African Americans, you know, getting pushed, you know,
definitely
in the spotlight, you know. Like you said, it's just rejuvenated. He rejuvenated their careers, and it shows you MVP is smart, and he signed a big contract too.
Yeah, to stay.
So he's making good money too. And hold on a minute, I got Kira here. Kira has delivered some homemade apple pie and some ice cream to me. This is my cheat for the day because like I said, I lost. Wait, come here, Kira. Kira's gonna say hi to everybody. She can't hear you because you're on the headset.
It's all good.
She got the Afro pumps and the Afro stuff. As you well know, this is my producer, my director, my writer of everything, all my vignettes and promos and everything. So say hi, everybody. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Hi, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you.
Oh,
yes, I heard you.
Thank you.
All right.
So yeah, the Hurt Business. I'm happy. I'm happy with the Hurt Business, man. And forgive me, but I'm gonna eat.
Eat. I don't care. Just don't smack it to the mic. That's all Look, check this out. I don't want them to end this Hurt Business anytime soon. I want this to continue for a good while. If the NWO can go for years, if DX can go for years, if the Bullet Club can never end, let this go.
The New Day. The
New Day, correct. If the New Day can go for since what? WrestleMania 31, pretty much? 6 years almost? Yeah. Let the Hurt Business go for a good while. This is good for business. And the only thing I hope, I know Cedric is coming out of his shell, taking over and everything, but just don't break this up no time soon because this is gold on TV. Now, we talked about the Hurt Business. They're the Raw Tag Team Champions. We're going to move on to the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the guys that have held the belt for over 300 days, I believe. The Street Profits. Yes, the Street Profits. You know, they didn't made a scene. They didn't splashed onto the scene. And here we are over 300 days as tag team champions. I know how you feel about Dawkins. I do. And since the Usos aren't together, New Day is on Raw, and the tag team situation isn't the same like it was last year when you had good amount of tag teams. The Street Profits are pretty damn good. Merchandise in the ring, they're not bad. You know, to me, Montez is the better one out of the two. Not to bring Dawkins down, but promo skills is the best thing from the Street Profits. And whoever thought about bringing a red or a blue plastic cup to the ring? Because at one time, Montez had a pimp cup. I saw it in person at the WrestleMania kickoff party here in New Orleans when they wrestled in the dome where all of us who had a ticket could get in. And Montez came up with that little pimp cup and everything. Now it's the plastic cups. And then all the plastic cups come from the rafters. Whoever would have thought of that? Plastic cups. But hey, people like it. People like the Street Profits. They like them in the ring. They like the promo. They also like we want the smoke. They like that also. The Street Profits are over. They are over with people. They have been champions for over 300 days. I'm starting to wonder, will they surpass New Day's record? I'm starting to wonder, for real. I'm starting to wonder, but I got to give props to the Street Profits. I'll pass it to you.
Listen, you said something in the beginning. You said, you know how I feel about Angelo Dawkins. Everybody knows my great Angelo Dawkins, that he's a WWE superstar and he's not in the best shape. That being said, you know, as wrestling fans, we're very judgmental. And you know me, I judge everybody.
Yeah.
And like I said, being where I'm at now compared to 6 months ago, maybe Dawkins got something going on where he don't have the opportunity to work out as much as he wants to. Maybe he has an issue as well. But I take that back. I'm going to tell you why. Angelo Dawkins has impressed me. The last tag team match, if you noticed, at TLC, check that. The one prior to that, Survivor Series.
Okay.
When it was New Day versus Street Profits. Angelo Dawkins was the star of that match. He had a lot of hot tags. He did a lot of power moves. He was moving around for a big man. He definitely has stepped his game up. He dropped a couple pounds too. He's looking good in the ring, man. He's looking good. I think Montez is a great positive influence on him, and he's feeding off of Montez. Because to me, that they are great. They gonna go down in history if they keep them together as one of the greatest tag teams, because you got the power and the glory. I don't want to throw an old age reference in there, but I did. To me, they're like Paul Roma and Hercules. You got a big, strong guy, and then you got the high flyer, the technical wrestler guy. So they complement each other very well. And for the New Day to put them over, it shows you that the Street Profits are the truth. Yeah. And they have run with it. And you talking about their catchphrase, because I know she wants it, I know he wants it, I know they want it, and we all want it. We want the smoke.
Yes, we all want the smoke. Look, I can't say much about the Street Profits, man. I'm totally in awe of what they can do in the ring. And Montez Ford, you know, he is a superior athlete, very superior, man.
Future WWE champion. I'm saying it.
He's saying it. Future WWE champion. The guy got all the tools. He has it all. Talk, in-ring ability, everything. You know, one day down the line, they gonna break them up. I hope not. Yeah, a couple years. I hope not, man. I hope they have about good 3-4 title reigns before that happen. You know, but the Street Profits have been the truth ever since they left NXT. They have been the truth, and I think they see it backstage like, yo, these guys are money. They even on commercials right now. They're on commercials with Ric Flair, Skittles commercial. These guys are the truth. Yo, yeah. Street Profits, man. They're at or over 300 days as champions. If they get to 400, it's time to start a countdown. If they're gonna pass New Day for the longest reign ever as tag team champions. And I don't want to hear nobody say, well, they were Raw tag team champions and they switched with New Day to come SmackDown so the count should start over. Hell no. They switched, but the reign as champions themselves never stopped. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear it.
And they beaten all the major teams.
All of them. All of them. Even the Viking Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to see what happens with the Street Profits in the future. Now, we're going to go on to one more topic, and we're going to get our guest in here. But let's talk about NXT major stars in 2020. And we've had quite a few. I've been impressed with Adam Cole. He had Yeah, yeah. He had the NXT Championship belt for a very long time. Then he lost it to Keith Lee in a great matchup for title. And then you had Karrion Kross come out of nowhere. To me, with the best interest now in all of wrestling, with Scarlett Bordeaux. He wins the belt, but got injured in the match with Keith Lee, had to drop it. And then your man, my man, Finn Balor, becoming a two-time NXT champion. And now trying to put people up like Damian Priest, Kyle O'Reilly into the main event picture. Look, I love that they got these big-time stars right now. Even though Keith Lee has moved up, but Karrion Kross is back. They need to keep these stars in there for a good while, like they're doing with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Yeah, they are. They're going to move up, but keep them in there for about another year or two and build NXT up even more with major stars. Don't move them too quickly. The 2020 stars that they had, phenomenal. Phenomenal. And that's not, I didn't even say Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley. I didn't even say bringing back Ember Moon. These stars in NXT right now that they have, minus Keith Lee because he's gone, is a building block. It's a building block. They used the building block for Shinsuke, Robbie Roode, Finn Balor, then Samoa Joe. Use it again for the ones you got now.
Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens.
Zayn. Yes. Yes.
Bro, listen, like you said, for some reason, Triple H has tapped into some kind of some kind of miracle because everything that he touches in NXT turns to gold.
Yes.
It's like, just when you think NXT can't get any better, they blow your mind. All the matches that they have, even on the lower card matches, people that you really wouldn't watch. The opening match at NXT is better than some main events on AEW.
That's true.
You got, like you named all the stars. Not to mention their women's division is stacked.
Yeah.
And what's that guy's name? I'm so sorry, his name escapes me. Oh man, the dude with the crew cut, the blonde crew cut.
Not
that doesn't talk. That doesn't talk.
Oh, that's my boy, Dexter Lumis.
Dexter Lumis.
Yes,
bro. Big things are coming for Dexter Lumis, man.
Yes,
he is the truth.
That might be the one that be Karrion Kross in the future. It might be him.
Maybe it could be. That'd be a good match. But Karrion Kross right now, man, bro. When he gets the title, because we know the title's coming back to him eventually.
Yes.
When he gets that title back, it's going to be. He's going to run over everybody for a long time. So we got a lot to look forward to next. And you can't say there's a bet. You can name 7 guys off the top of your head that can main event any NXT takeover.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Same thing with the women. Any woman in NXT could some of them can main event Raw and SmackDown, main event a major pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You got Ember you got Raquel
Gonzalez,
right? I don't know why I want to call it something else, but I don't know why. I think because I get it confused with Michelle Rodriguez. Anyway, then you got Shotzi, you got Kaden, you got Candice LeRae, Tegan Knox. You got all these women, not to mention Toni Storm, like you said. The major women stars that could jump to the main roster at any point.
Yeah.
Io Shirai, who has been dominant.
Yes.
Listen, that War Game match, those women were awesome.
Very awesome. Totally. Yeah.
And War Games in general. Not to mention the shocking, who has shocked me out of everybody, Pat McAfee.
Yes, sir. Definitely. Without a doubt.
Great stars 2020 for NXT. The Bruiserweight coming back looking all rock hard,
Yeah, lost got slim and everything. Yeah, definitely. Bruiserweight. Yes. Definitely.
Can't complain, but NXT, man, they definitely Triple H I can't wait till he takes over the main roster, man.
Oh yeah, definitely,
can't wait.
definitely. When he does it, bro, we are in for a show. Now we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Bring it into the show. Two of the MVS's greatest men ever. Two of them. If you don't know about MVS on Facebook, find out. Come join us, please. But these two men here started the foundation of it. We got Mr. Trohan Miles, and we got the Crescent City Saint, Mike Bradley. Fellas, welcome to the show. How are y'all doing?
Thank you for having us again.
I can't call it, man. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yo, let me tell both of y'all. Hold on. Hear me? Sorry. Let me tell both of y'all. It's great to see both of y'all. Merry Christmas to your families. Happy holidays. Whatever y'all celebrate. It's good to see y'all. Can't wait to see y'all in person. Without you guys running MVS, I wouldn't be on the show right now. I wouldn't be here. It's always an honor and a pleasure to talk to both of y'all. Y'all my brothers, all four of us right now. If you're looking at us, shit, you got the Hurt Business 2.0 up in this mother right here.
Right.
I'm MVP, right? I'll be MVP because I'm the older one, right? I ain't got to wrestle. I'll be the talker for you guys. Jared could be Cedric, right?
I'll be Cedric,
and
yeah.
With Mike Bradley is Bobby Lashley, and Trohan is Sheldon. There we go. Hurt Business 2.0.
I'll take that. I will take that. All right.
Mike, let me start with you right quick. You are good friends with MVP, and like we talked about earlier in the show, I met MVP in Orlando and told him, I know Mike Bradley. I'm good friends with him, and he was like, "What? Anybody from Mike Bradley is good friends with me." Tell us about where you met him and how did y'all create this good friendship?
Well, honestly, all in all, I'd been a fan since he first debuted with the vignettes, and just been following his career since then. It was, what was it, Mania 30? Yeah, I didn't know he was going to be at the WrestleCon, and I was already working the event. I was working a table for someone, and it just so happens I'm the night before we all went to Ring of Honor, and I had a sore voice. I could barely talk. But as I'm walking, I go to the bathroom. I come out. I'm like, "Yo, this is MVP. This is my guy. This is my senpai over here." So I had to go over there and introduce myself, and I showed him my ring gear. And one of the first things he said was, "Imitation is the biggest form of thievery." But he also said, "You can make it work for you. Then you have my blessing." Because basically, I was asking for his blessing to rock a similar costume or tights, if you will. But he was cool with it, and from there on, we would chop it up via social media, and then he came out to Wisconsin, and he came out to a show in Wisconsin. We chopped it up in the back. It was a great time, man. Great time. It's COVID. I'm getting all my facts mixed up because it feels like 10 years ago when in actuality, it may have been like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was super cool, super chill. And hold on, baby. I'm online. I'm online right now.
Live TV, baby. You know how it is.
Ain't nothing like it.
You got to step out. You got to step out.
You know it's Christmas and family time.
Oh, most definitely.
But yeah, bro. But we linked up in Wisconsin. Just was chopping it up with him, and we was just hanging out. I was getting some game from him. Baby, y'all gotta step out of here. I love you too.
sounds like Mikey coming in to the side.
I know, right?
Close the door for me, baby. But then like we really bond. Then there was a show in the Chicago area, in the Chicago suburbs, where like we linked up after the show. We was just kicking it. It was cooling, you know, just getting game from him in and outside of the ring. The funniest thing I can tell you about that one story is that there was a guy who was like constantly trying to like get MVP's attention. It was like you remember how the old saying is back in the day where there used to be a bunch of rats at the bar, but now there's a bunch of fans at the bar.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what it was. It was a bunch of fans at the bar, and I was just chilling, me and my partner. Baby, you gonna have to step out. Go ask mama. Go ask mama. No. This is so embarrassing, bro.
Nah,
You
bro,
good.
don't be
You
embarrassed. Family,
good?
bro. Come on.
Come on, baby. Close the door. Close the door. She gonna do what she want to do. Oh, but yeah, bro. But nah. The funniest part is that we're hanging out. We're he's doing this thing. He's chopping it up with his boys, and he's chopping it up with me. And then there's this one guy. He had like a bunch of James Storm's merch on, and he's just like, "Hey, MVP, blah blah blah. Hey man, I get you a ride at the hotel. Hey man, you want a shot? You want this? You want that?" And it's like he really doesn't know the dude, and he's not trying to be a dick to him or anything, but he's like, "Nah, man, I'm cool." And as we're getting ready to leave, the guy's like, "Hey man, hey, if you're going to the airport, I live out that way, and I can drop you off." And I tell Hassan, I said, "Say, bro, if you get in the car with that dude, I think you're gonna wake up in a hotel bathroom with your kidneys missing, bro." Like, I shit you not. I told him that because the dude just kept coming around us, and I'm just like, man. But nah, man, we just cool. If anything, I treat him no different than I would treat y'all.
Right.
Like a human being. Like, yes, he's a WWE superstar. Yes, he's the EVP of the Hurt Business, and it's a great guy. Love him, but at the end of the day, it's just like I never get starstruck, and I never try to get too comfortable because like we're in two totally different tax brackets, and we're two totally different people. Yet we happen to like the same things. So that's where we got cool. But if anything, Shahan can tell you last year, man, when he came for the Wildcat show, and
yeah, the one I had to miss. Oh man, go ahead.
Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm a little under the weather, so I had to take this little sip. But nah, bro. Like he was like, "Yo, I got something for you." And I was thinking, like, huh? Like I had something to give him, because I know he's a Punisher fan, so I gave him this Punisher hardcover novel. And I shit you not, gives me his Beat Down Clan track jacket.
Wow.
Dude. I literally told him, like, dude, I could cry right now, but I'm not going to because you're in front of me. But man, like, I think I wore that thing the entire night. I wore it the entire
yeah.
Take it off at home. And sometimes I forget I have it.
Yeah. Wow. It's just like at WrestleCon for Mania 33, when I told him that I knew you, and he was like, "Well, how you know him?" And I explained everything, and I explained how you went to John Error, and I'm at Shaw. I said that's less than a mile apart. And I said, and then we just clicked up through wrestling. And he was like, "Any friends of Mike Bradley's a friend of mine." And he gave me one of his ghetto strong style T-shirts. And Tony was right there with me, and he just gave me the shirt. And I was like, "Well, let me pay you." He said, Nah, you ain't got to pay me. You're a friend of Mike Bradley. I said, I know you're selling merchandise. I don't want to take it for free. I'd rather pay you for the shirt. He's like, "Look, you a friend of Mike Bradley."
Yep, sure did.
He says, "You're a friend of Mike Bradley. You're a friend of mine." He said, "You take that shirt. It's all good." And I shook his hand, and me and Tony, we left. And I was like, wow. So, yeah. But speaking of the time we went to Ring of Honor during Mania 30 week, it's so funny, man. So, a lot of the talent that's in WWE was at Ring of Honor. When we talk about Adam Cole, we talking about ACH, Cedric Alexander. We all was there. And I don't remember if it was Cedric wrestling at the time or if it was ACH. But they were like the first two matches. and I'm with Mike. Trohan is there. My boy Daniel Francis. Fashawn VK Jones was there. Brandon Vandal Frazier was there. We all there. And out of nowhere, while one of those guys was wrestling, ACH or Cedric, Mike Bradley, out of nowhere, he goes, cheer the black guy. Oh, to this day, I will never forget that. To this day. And that's pretty much 7 years now in the making. Mike Bradley did that. We go to Wildcat wrestling events. As Jaden Spade is wrestling another black wrestler, Mike Bradley will start that chant every time.
And don't forget the looks that we get
True,
every
man.
time
I
he
mean,
says that.
a lot of-
Yeah, Tro, the looks. Go ahead, Mike.
I don't know if it goes out tonight or tomorrow. I'm sorry, y'all. Nah, what
You good?
it was, we were just sitting there, like, the fans, ROH are a lot like, those indie fans, like they come up with any little thing, especially for their favorites. And I keep trying to get in the room. This here. But nah, bro, we were just sitting down and we was all having a good time. We was all chanting, and then all of a sudden, he closed the door. I love you. He closed the door. Closed the door. And now, see, this is the funny thing. I'm trying to tell the story. Everybody wants mine now, but when I was in the front, I had no words. But no. Long story short, let me tell you something so surprising about that. So we're doing it. We're just wilding out. We're not trying to be a part of the show, but we're in a sense we're just trying to enhance it because you got everybody. They want to cheer this, they want to cheer that. They say this, they want to say that. So we like, hell, they got all this black talent, cheer the black guy. But here's where it gets funny. 2 years ago, I ran into Cedric at the Wale Mania. I run into him and I stop at the bar. I'm like, hey man, listen, I just got to tell you something real. I want to let you know that it's a chance because of you. If you ever hear us say cheer, just know that it came from us. Since, dude, I have been wanting to know what that's because me and Roddy were wrestling that night, and I could have sworn I heard that because I asked him, "Did you hear what I just hear?" And dude, when Cedric heard that, and he was like, "Yo, he wasn't tripping." I want to turn into a shirt so bad. I really.
Hey, be a good idea. Trohan, let me go to you right quick. And Tony, I'm gonna let you ask a question after this one. So Trohan, you've known Mike for years. Mike was in your wedding, or you was in Mike's wedding, maybe vice versa. Both of y'all in each other's wedding.
Long time.
Talk about what made y'all decide to come together to start the MVS Facebook page.
It was simple. We see all these other groups and Facebook pages, so we figured, why not us? Because it started off small with just me, Mike, and a lot of the close friends. And you know how those things snowball and grow. Somebody knows somebody who knows somebody, and it grows and grows. Because I can tell you, no lie, starting that group was like the best thing to happen, because I couldn't tell you in the beginning how many times I could be at a random place, and next thing you know, I hear, "Are you trying?" And I'm like, "Yeah, we're part of MVS." And I was like, "Hey, nice to meet you," because it's good to put, I guess you could say, like, faces to names,
right?
because because everybody's so scattered all over the place. It's not just that small circle that we started out with. You know, it just grows and grows. They got people that's in the group that are so busy with their personal lives, they don't contribute like they should.
Mm-hmm.
But they always keep track of like what's going on. I got a friend that's part of marketing with WWE. Like straight up. This is no joke. Like he's part of merchandise. Anytime like something comes up, sometimes I know before anybody else say anything because I don't want to be cast as that guy, the
Right.
company guy, as a lot of people call me.
Right.
It's just that's how these things grow and snowball, It's just because you never know who knows who or what. It's just glad to see that, something that me and Mike started just to get some of us together turned into something that's like huge,
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry. I have ideas like I told you that's floating in my head that I'm just waiting to execute when the time is right. Try to make MVS a little bit bigger and better,
Yeah. I totally agree. Go ahead, Tony. If you got any questions, I'm gonna pass it over to you.
I have zero questions because let me tell you why. There's no need to question these guys. No, I'm tell you why. Because these guys, they need to question them because what they've done here is they've done something that a lot of people don't have the ability to do, and that's to bring people together. I'm gonna just tell you a personal story about both these guys from day one. Dave and Dave. This goes for you too, Jared. They made me feel welcome. I feel like I'm a big part of MVS because of them, because of you. And without these two guys, I wouldn't know you, Jared. So
Right.
I guess I do have a question. Do you guys, and I'm gonna go with Troy first, and then let Mike answer afterwards. Do you guys realize the impact that you've had on the wrestling community, on people?
Not really. I especially didn't know because me and Mike for years, anytime that there was like a wrestling signing, myself, Mike, and a whole group of others, we're there like early, first thing in the morning, right? In line, waiting. And then we see these other people in line too. Sometimes you realize, oh, they're just like us. And then other times you realize, oh, they're those type of fans. Because you see all those type of people out there, and you mix and mingle with them. Sometimes you don't want to be bothered, and then sometimes you just, you could build a relationship. Jared, like I still get heat for it to this day about the whole Sasha Natty situation,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Because I didn't tell nobody till the last minute because I didn't know till the last minute, right?
Right.
I was out there first, then you came out there, and all of a sudden, who did we meet that's now good friends with us? Chuck.
Chuck. Yeah.
And we just started that, talking and everything, and then now look at us. All these years later, it's things like that that help not just the group grows with like other people, all those different opinions or whatnot, because you never know. And oddly enough, and Mike knows this for a fact, it all really started way back in the day. Me working in the quarters, WWE always came out there the night before. I told Mike straight up, all you got to do is go to Bourbon Street that night before. You don't go looking for them. They'll find you, right? And Mike, you can tell him you were skeptical at first. You didn't believe me.
This is true.
Right? He didn't believe me. And all of a sudden, he passed by my job, chopping it up. All I did, mind my own business, all I did was look. I said, hey, Mike, Big Show. He looked. He said, oh, shit. And I said, hey, Mike, there's Shelton. And it's just like that. And it just kept going. And it kept going and going. As a matter of fact, that's why Matt Anoa'i, a.k.a. Rosie,
Mm-hmm.
and Eddie, a.k.a. Umaga, I've actually had a good friendship with them because all those times I've seen them in New Orleans come to Cats, you know, and this is something I still want to know to this day. I want to know if my old Cat shirt is still in their house somewhere. Mike knows. That night it was like a house show. I gave Jamal, aka Iki, one of my Cat security shirts. He told me he was gonna wear it during the show because it was 3-Minute Warner versus the Dudley Boys in a tables match. Now, I don't think he ended up wearing it, but I gave it to security to give to him. What happened after that, I don't know. But the fact that I still had that connection, that communication.
Wait, but trying.
You're breaking up, Mike. What's up?
You remember how we ended up giving it to security?
I do know that
Okay.
we had.
I'm
I
on
know
my
we
phone
went backstage.
and I'm trying to get on to the. Do you remember how we
I know we somehow ended up backstage.
And we're like, hey, wait. They were like, hey, who those came in the back? Like we heard them on the radio as we were
Yeah.
and then it's so funny because we and Victor was working in the ring.
Yeah. Because we literally just walked clean backstage, just like we seeing them coming. Here we're just walking. And I want you to realize this. I had on my job's work shirt because also that night before I met Devon, and I want to say it's his wife at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They were in Cats. I told Devon, I'm gonna be sitting on the floor. Look for me wearing this shirt. He spotted me, and it was all because I had my work shirt on at this show. That's how me and Mike got a picture with Earl Hebner, or was it Dave?
It was one of them.
Yeah, and it was just it's those things that we like. You know how some people try to get away with stuff? We actually just did it.
Yeah.
We were just like, you know what? If we get turned around, okay. Oh well. But it always seemed to work in our favor every single time, no matter what it was. You know, that epic signing at FYE. Yeah. That legendary signing. It's just those things help MVS get born because we just said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's go for it. Why not? You know?
Yeah. Mike, you got anything you want to add in?
No, man, it's like if I can elaborate more on it, it's like there's fans, real to me, damn it, type of fans, who can't differ, fact fiction. So, and when we're at signing or shows, like we don't want to, we don't want to entertain that, but it's like you can't group all wrestling fans together. There's like different wrestling fans. There's the MVS crew who's like, look, we just love good wrestling. Like we're marked for the content, not the letter. And then you have some who think that they're better than everyone because I watch only New Japan, or I only watch AEW, only watch WWE, or I only watch 80s Mid-South. Nobody cares about that, bro. It's like it's right for you. And then also, as far as an impact, I'm not really so like I mean, some days I watch and I'm like, it's something that I really don't like. I'm like, I'm gonna refrain from like speaking my piece because I'd rather give my energy into something else. But if it's something that I love, I'm gonna brag about it. I'm gonna out there because what I don't understand about wrestling, what I don't understand about certain wrestling fans is that they hate to the point where this is like, and sometimes I've even compared pro wrestling to like a bad relationship, like an abusive relationship. And I know some may frown upon that analogy, but it's like for real though. It's like, oh, why do you watch that? You know, you can do well. It's not bad all the time. You know, that's what I think of it when I say, you know, my daughter got whooped, so I'm trying to hear that and convey what I'm conveying right now. But yeah, that's what I think of pro wrestling. Sometimes it's like it can be a abusive relationship. It's good when it's good, and it's horrible when it's horrible. But pretty much that, and like with the MVS thing, I just got tired of looking at everybody else's. Man, I'm gonna do my own page, and it's all we're basically doing is shit that we got from the beats and from the internet. And I'm like, there's got to be like-minded fans out here that read between the lines, and that aren't just just so. When I did that, and I asked trying to do it with me, and a bunch of people, it just spread it out and it did its own thing. And I'm just happy with what it is. That's pretty much it, you know.
Yeah, the ultimate goal, oddly enough, if one of us can get like one of those big mainstream people to just like acknowledge or say something in regards to this group, that'd be like a huge win,
Yeah.
If it ever happens, that's the question. But it remains to be seen.
Definitely. Let me ask y'all both a question. This year with COVID has been crazy for wrestling to where there's no fans, and then you might see 100 fans for AEW. NXT might have a few fans. Raw and SmackDown in the Thunderdome. Impact with no fans. And this is the review of the year for us. What do you guys think about how they have handled it with all of the shows they have done on TV this year in regards to COVID testing and COVID being out there? Mike can go first.
So far, like they know who they want on. They know who they want on television. They know who they want to. They're not hurting. I don't think they're honestly hurting. I mean, they let go so much talent and recoup money in other areas. I think it's good for the. I think it's good talent because now, like, they're not doing many tours. Now they can get all their shit in the ring. Their time. So hope they can be more creative as far as working on their characters. What else? I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of the cinematic. I think that. Anything else as far as with COVID? It's still. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's getting you typed in the audience and everything like that because when this happened for Goldberg back in the day, it was frowned upon. Now that you have got the black around and everything like that, it's like okay. I'm old, but I'm too old to remember. Like didn't like pipe in Goldberg's name when he wasn't getting over. So like, come on, son. But hey, here's what it is. WWE, they're gonna adapt and they're gonna make it happen.
Right. I would say it was odd at first. Not when all you're hearing is pretty much the mat. and the bumps, that's all you're really hearing in the beginning. It felt like to me that we were watching a live rehearsal or a tape rehearsal, if you will. But I think as they started progressing, because no one knew it was going to last this long. I sure as hell didn't know it was going to last this long. So I think any company, WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, Impact, I think as time went, they just adapted to, okay, let's try this. Let's try this, see if it works. And, because I give all of them credit to put something out there during this time because it's a trying time. It's one of those things where you just don't know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how. But the fact that they still are able to give us something. Because I remember in the beginning, people were saying that they need to just shut it down, and wait.
I was one of them.
Right, you're one of them. And I'm thinking back to like, okay, if they do, then what? And now thinking how long it's been, I'm kind of glad they didn't, because if they did, whoo, like everything would be out of whack. Everything.
TV contracts be out of whack. How are they going to pay the wrestlers? How are they going to make money?
Right.
They might have lost more superstars than they already did lose. Anything could happen. You got a great point there.
It's like I'm not gonna lie. In the beginning, I was like, well, they shut it down for a couple months. It's not gonna hurt. We'll be back to normal. But that was me saying that April, thinking June, July, pick right back up. We're going into 2021 with the same situation. So it's like I'm so glad they didn't, and the fact that they're still giving us something, and I can still buy merch because I just got this stuff in today. I can still buy merch to keep it going. I'm glad I'm doing something. Whether it be a little small part, the fact that they're giving me something, I'm all for it. As much as I cape up for them, if you will, at this point, I'm glad I'm doing it, because if they didn't, man, I don't know what I don't know what the hell I'd be watching if none of this was going on.
Cobra Kai.
Well, I'll be watching a lot of Netflix and everything, but like as far as like in-ring action, I put it like this here. I'm glad they're doing it, because the last thing I want to do is watch backyard stuff.
Yeah,
that's the last thing I want to do.
It's true.
Let me ask you all one more question, and I'll get you both out of here. How do you think it's going to be in the arena when we can get back to full capacity at shows? Trohan, you can go first.
Full capacity?
Full capacity with fans, yes.
Depending on, it all depends on that first city outside of Florida. Since pretty much AEW and WWE are pretty much doing everything between Orlando and whatever, and Miami,
Jacksonville, yeah.
The first city outside of Florida, that's gonna be that the measuring stick, if you will, because Florida's gonna be Florida no matter what, because the Thunderdome is now in Tampa. I didn't know.
Tropicana Field, because basketball is starting again, NBA.
All right. So it's like, that's what I said, like anything outside of Florida, whoever is gonna get that first one. I don't know if it's gonna be that first Raw, that first SmackDown, or that first pay-per-view. Who knows? Mania might be that first one.
I think they might start with house shows first, small.
Right.
in smaller venues to see how it works.
Right.
Good point.
I just want like whoever that first one is. That first one will tell the story of okay, we see how this goes. Let's try another one. Let's try another one, and then that first live, we're going live. First city, full capacity stands. Let's go. Then that's gonna be like okay, we're on to something. I was hoping November it would have been back to normal because SmackDown was supposed to be here.
Yep.
And I got robbed. Oh, sorry. A lot of us got robbed.
Yeah.
AEW was this
Bro.
month. So it's like it's all depends on that first city outside of Florida.
All right, Mike, what you think?
I will piggyback and say, Lord willing, it will be a legit sellout. Every seat will be filled, and they're probably gonna have to take people at the door. Give or take, the merchandise stand is pretty empty because you got fans that's gonna they're gonna want their merch. They're gonna want their Kevin Owens shirt. They're gonna want their Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio shirts. They're gonna want they want everything needs their fix, no intended. So it's gonna be beautiful when the world opens up and everything gets back on track. I just hope people take COVID thing seriously, and that's the one thing that I'm hoping that these federations are doing. Is like, look, these are people's lives. Like it was different before. Now you got a whole set of circumstances, man, and I would hate to see our favorites, not being able to do, not taking the necessary precautions. I think meet and greets are gonna be when they happen. I think it's gonna go back to the 200 people who arrive. I hated those times. It's like we may have to go back to that. I'll be honest with you. I think they're gonna keep the whole thing with the fans being there digitally. They'll have some fans in live attendance, and then they'll have their Black Mirror effect. I think that'll be a pretty cool thing. Just depends on how much they're willing to open up the. But I think it's gonna be a good thing.
All right. Well, fellas, I want to thank y'all for joining the show.
Definitely.
Anytime, y'all are more than welcome. I appreciate it. MVS appreciates it, and let's continue, all of us, to make MVS bigger and better, make it grow. We all are members, and we wouldn't have this show if it wasn't for MVS itself. So we definitely appreciate you two guys, and we thank y'all for joining us.
I definitely thank both of you guys for starting MVS, bringing me in. Like Jared said, man, this is a great community. I have some great friends because of this. I've brought some people in as well. And 2021 is our year, gentlemen.
We're gonna make it that way. So, and before we wrap up, I just got one thing to say. I see, Jared, Tony, y'all have y'all championship belts in the background.
Yes, sir.
I'm coming for y'all. I'm coming for y'all. I added one to the collection.
Whoa!
I added one to the collection. Trust me, boy, coming. I'm gonna be the MVS's Kenny Omega, the collector. Because believe me, the next one, none of y'all have.
Let me step my game up.
Ooh, we gotta step it up, Tony. We gotta step it up. Somebody coming for us. Well,
coming for the crown, people.
Well, Tro and Mike, thank y'all.
Thank you.
We'll see y'all soon. Thank y'all, fellas. Appreciate y'all so much.
God bless you all the families.
Definitely. All right. That was Trohan Miles and Mike Bradley, the founders of MVS. So thankful for having them on our show again. We've had them a few times. More than welcome anytime, man. let's move on now. So now we talked a lot about superstars and shows and this and that. Let's move on to what we think on certain things. And I'm going to start off with asking you, then I'll go. What is the biggest disappointment of the year in wrestling?
Whoa, that's a good question. The biggest disappointment of the year in wrestling. Well, I think honestly was the releases of a lot of superstars. A lot of releases, like, people that we thought had a chance of making it big or could have, done better. I was real hurt to see Heath Slater go. Even though they weren't doing nothing with him, it's just, sad to see a guy who worked so hard to get where he was. Not to mention the releases of the Good Brothers, who were just at WrestleMania right before they got released.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I think it was like Mike Chioda, longtime referee, getting released.
Mm-hmm.
That, to me, that's the biggest disappointment of the year, because these guys are people that have put years in the business, 30 years in the business. Mike Chioda,
right?
And that is the main disappointment to me in wrestling. Also, the death of Pat Patterson.
Yeah, definitely.
Big disappointment losing Pat Patterson, who created the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
It was a tough year. A lot of deaths, but but the main one, Pat Patterson, and of course, like I said, the releases, to me, the biggest disappointment of the year. What about you?
Well, I love all your answers. I love all your answers. Those are great answers. As far as my opinion, I'm going into the storyline, and it's Retribution. It's Retribution, man.
Yeah.
I mean, man, we were so up for Retribution, man, for things that were happening, watching every week, like what they're going to do, and now all of a sudden, they're nothing. They're not even talked about anymore, man. And I just think the Raw storyline did them so wrong. Did them wrong.
Opportunity missed.
Yes, big time opportunity missed, and it's just fell apart. I mean, we know who they were from NXT. I would have rather them keep their names. Mia Yim lost her mask in a match, so identity is being shown. We know it's Mia Yim, but other than that, just not using them correctly, and definitely opportunity missed, man. I gotta say Retribution, big time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you when it comes to storylines of wrestling. That's definitely the biggest disappointment of the year. Bro, what can you say about it? They're not even mid-card status. They just, it gives Ricochet something to fight, get beat up for every week. But other than that, what is it doing?
Right. Correct. What could have been isn't, and that's the messed up part, big time. Moving on. Start with you. The feud of the year in wrestling.
Wow. This one's tough, and I knew we were going to get to this point, and I was going to fight with myself. But I'm sorry, man. To me, and I hope I don't steal your thunder, because you always like to have a different one, but we don't tell each other, just so y'all know, we don't tell each other what we're going to talk about, what the other's opinion. So we match.
That's it.
But to me, the feud of the year had to be between Sasha and Bayley.
Yeah, bro.
Come
yes,
on, bro.
Yes.
Roman Reigns and Jey Uso were a very close second. Very close. But for me, at least, Sasha and Bayley was money, man. The golden role models, all the gold, best friends.
Yeah.
It's always Sasha the one turning on Bayley. They flipped the script on us.
Yeah.
Bayley turned to legitimate badass bitch.
Yeah.
And they were money the whole year. So to me, feud of the year is definitely Sasha and Bayley.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, let me stop for a second. We got some people commenting. We got some trollers on here that commented too.
Yeah, I saw those two. I ignored those two jabron, whoever talked. Just for the record, guys, we're definitely not virgins. And if you want to put your member inside Charlotte's mouth, I'm pretty sure she beat your ass inside, and so would Andrade. So you control all you want, dumbasses. That just makes us have more fun and make us more famous, idiots.
Exactly. Look, we ain't worried about your trolls and everything. Y'all can say what you want to say, this and that. Just continue being keyboard warriors, because you're not gonna do it face to face, and then we're gonna
That
take it that
shows
straight
you.
up.
That shows you when you popular, bro. When people troll you, so keep that shit going.
Yeah, yes indeed. Yes
We,
indeed.
we got free rent space in their brain, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We ain't paying no rent.
None at all. None at all. And somebody asked how they came up with the name MVS, and somebody explained it. Marks versus Marks. Yeah, definitely. That's definitely how the name came up. So yeah.
Was your feud of the year Sasha and Bailey as well?
Yes, sir. My feud of the year is Sasha and Bailey. It's right there with
Obvious,
you.
bro. Obvious one, bro.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, I went and look at other feuds just to refresh my memory, and I was like, nah, nothing came bigger than
No comparison. I mean,
no comparison.
Jay and Roman came close, and then Drew McIntyre and Randy came close, but nothing had the feel that that Sasha and Bailey had.
Look, somebody, one of the websites I looked at, they had Sasha and Bailey number 3. Number 1 was Cody Rhodes and MJF. I was like, nah, nah, man, nah, cause yeah. All right, now moving on. Now I need answers just from 3 answers. I need from each organization when I ask a question.
Oh.
WWE, NXT, and AEW. Okay? Not yet. Hold on, not yet. I'm ahead of myself.
Good.
Female superstar of the year.
Wow. Of the entire year.
Yes.
Oh. Well, if you had to give it to one woman, you got to think about who dominated most of the year. Charlotte was gone, then Asuka. Okay, this might blow you all away, but I'm gonna give it to Io Shirai as a female superstar of the year.
Ooh.
She dominated NXT.
Yeah, she did.
Once she got the title, I think she only got pinned one time, and that was at the War Games by Raquel, correct? Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
That she
threw her dominated. Yeah, threw her through the ladder.
Right. She dominated. I think Io Shirai to me was the most dominant woman. She had the most consistent domination the whole entire year. I mean, I know of course you can say Asuka, but Io Shirai had stiffer competition than Asuka did. So I say Io Shirai.
Okay. Well, I will say Sasha Banks.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Sasha Banks, and here's why I would say Sasha Banks. Sasha, for the longest, made sure Bailey stayed SmackDown champion number 1. Number 2, Sasha was the one who pinned Alexa or Nikki for the women's tag team championship.
True.
Sasha then went on to defeat Asuka, even though Asuka ran to the back to help, check on her friend Kairi Sane because Bailey attacked her. And then Sasha lost both of those belts. Bailey turned her back on her, and Sasha went on to become the SmackDown Women's Champion. So Sasha had SmackDown, Raw, and the Women's Tag Team Championships all in a year span.
True.
That's why I say Sasha is the female superstar of the year.
Can't argue with that, bro. She was great.
All right, now, so I need an answer from an NXT, WWE, and an AEW. If you can't remember AEW, that's cool. But here's my first question. Give me the best match that you saw in 2020 from each organization that you can remember.
All right. Well, I'm not a big AEW fan, but the match that I liked the most was definitely Dustin Rhodes versus his brother Cody. I think it's the best match at AEW. It was bloody, it was crazy, it was passion behind it. It's a good storyline. So to me, that's the best match in AEW. That set the tone for the whole year. NXT, that's such a tough one.
Yes,
because
very.
There's so many. But I got to give it to Keith Lee versus Adam Cole.
Okay.
Because Keith Lee became the double champion.
Yeah.
And it was even though we saw it writing on the wall, just a big man versus a little man, just a great match, the stuff that Keith Lee can do. And the best match from WWE is a tough one. But I'm not going to give this as a just regular one-on-one. To me, the best match in WWE the whole year was the Royal Rumble. When Drew won the Rumble, when he kicked Brock Lesnar out, and when when Edge came back, so that gives you got a couple different aspects,
Yeah.
Roman being the last guy thrown out. So to me, the best match in WWE was the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
The Royal Rumble match.
Cool. AEW for me is Kenny Omega and Adam Page defending the tag team belts against the Young Bucks. To me, a lot of people say that is the greatest tag team match of all time. I'm not going that far, but it's up there. It's up there. It's up there.
It was damn good. Damn good.
Yeah. Yep. So I would say them. NXT, this was hard for me to decide. It was very hard for me to decide. But you pick Keith Lee and Adam Cole. Cool. I picked that hard-hitting match between Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. That match there, man.
Brutal.
Yes. And in regards to WWE, the best matchup I saw the whole year happened last Sunday. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens TLC match. That had everything from going through chairs and tables and ladders and interferences from Jey Uso, and Kevin Owens just won't die, won't give up. That match there, man, to me was the best match I saw in WWE. So yes, those are my best matches of the year in 2020 within those three organizations.
All good matches.
Yes, definitely. We move on to the tag team of the year from each organization. I will go first. AEW, I will say Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page. WWE, I will say the Street Profits. And in NXT, I would definitely say for the year 2020, I would say Oni and Lorcan.
Good picks. AEW, I'm going to say FTR.
Okay.
Because they just came back rejuvenated. Good little storyline to win the tag team title. So I'll give it to them. Mm-hmm. They don't care about winning or losing. They just care about the division being good.
Yeah.
WWE, man, was tough, man, tag team wise. Who you go to New Day or you go to Street Profits,
Right.
Xavier Woods comes back. They win the tag titles. But I got to go with you with the Street Profits this one as well. They were definitely tag team a WWE. And to me, NXT tag team champions, listen, bro, hard work pays off. Breezango.
I feel you. I can't disagree with any of your answers at all. All good answers. Now, I'll let you go first. The surprise of the year from each organization.
AEW was definitely Rusev / Miro. Big surprise. Excuse me. Live TV. WWE, of course, was Edge. So the biggest surprise. And NXT, Ember Moon coming back.
Okay. Let me start off. Biggest surprise in WWE to me, it wasn't Edge.
Wow.
Edge was a surprise. It wasn't Edge. The surprise to me in WWE was them taking away Big E from the New Day.
Oh,
Cause that hurt me, man, so much when that
it
happened.
hurt a lot. It hurt everybody.
Yeah. AEW, Sting.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Sting in AEW. And in NXT, Pat McAfee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was good.
Pat McAfee, man, his match against Adam Cole. I don't think any of us could believe what we saw, man.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, definitely. And now the last topic of the night on the Year in Review show, Superstar of the Year from each organization. So, I guess I'll start this off. WWE. I'm sticking with Drew McIntyre. Superstar of the Year. It was his year. Hands down. AEW is Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley. And NXT, Keith Lee. Keith Lee had the NXT title and the North American title at the same time. Those are my three for Superstars of the Year within those three organizations.
I'm going to disagree with you on all three.
Okay.
So in AEW, to me, the most valuable player of all in AEW is Le Champion, Chris Jericho. That guy keeps the storylines going. So because he got the inner circle. Jericho to me is the superstar of the year in AEW. I'm gonna now jump to NXT. And I'm gonna give it to Karrion Kross. Even though he got hurt, and even though he's out, he went undefeated the entire year, didn't lose a match. And, you know, even when he was gone, the big question is, when's he come back? When's he come back? When's he come back? And now he's back. So I give it to Karrion Kross. And my pick for the WWE Superstar of the Year, and Drew McIntyre is a great pick, but I give it to the head of the table, your tribal chief, the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns.
Okay. There you heard it from both of us. Ladies and gents, we are around the corner from 2021, and I hope we are in for a lot of surprises within the wrestling world. Only time will tell. We shall see. But I hope you all enjoyed our Year in Review show. You know, I want to say another thank you to Trohan Miles and Mike Bradley, the founders of Marks vs. Marks, also known as MVS Facebook page. If you're listening out there and want to join a great wrestling page, put in MVS or put in Marks vs. Marks, and then click that join button. But until next week, we will be back right here on Over the Top Rope for my friend right there.
2020 was a crazy year, but we going out in style, baby.
Tantalizer 2011. I'm your boy, Mr. Steelio Dibbs, the only, and I mean the only, Mr. Steelio Dibbs. We'll be back here next week on Over the Top Rope.
Next year.
That's right, next year. Till then, peace.